"Do you remember these two friends?" David says to Jonathan, "Why is your father so angry with me? Why does he want to kill me?" Jonathan says, "No, he will not do so. Otherwise he would have told me." "Of course not," says David. "He knows we are friends. He will not tell you." Then Jonathan says, "I will find out." Then they make a plan together. The next day there will be a feast in the palace, and David says, "I will not come. And when my seat is empty, you will see what the king will say." Before Jonathan goes back to the palace and David hides himself in the bush, they promise each other friendship in the name of the Lord. The next day is the new moon feast. The king sits down at the table, opposite Jonathan. But David's place is empty. Saul says nothing, for he thinks something must have happened to David. The next day, when David's place is empty again, Saul says to Jonathan, "Why has David not come to the meal? He wasn't here yesterday and he is not here today." Jonathan answers what he has agreed with David. He says, "David earnestly asked me permission to go to see his family." King Saul becomes so angry and shouts, "You wicked son! I know you are friends with David. Do you not understand that neither you nor your kingdom will be established? Now send someone to bring him to me, for he must die." Oh, Saul is real not a king that pleases God. It is so sinful when you hate someone and when you want to kill that person. "Why should he be put to death? What has he done?" Jonathan asks his father. But Saul hurls his spear at him to kill him. Then Jonathan knows that his father intends to kill David. He gets up from the table and leaves the palace. The next morning Jonathan goes out to the field for his meeting with David, like they have agreed. He has a small boy with him, and he says to the boy, "Run and find the arrows I shoot." As the boy runs, he shoots an arrow beyond him. When the boy comes to the place where Jonathan's arrow has fallen, Jonathan calls out after him, "Isn't the arrow beyond you?" Now David, who is hiding close by, knows that he is in danger, especially when he hears Jonathan shouting, "Hurry! Go quickly! Don't stop!" The boy picks up the arrow and returns to his master. Then Jonathan gives his weapons to the boy and says, "Go, carry them back to town." After the boy has gone, David gets up from his hiding place and bows down before Jonathan 3 times with his face to the ground. Then they kiss each other and they cry. David is so sad that his life is in danger and that he has to say goodbye to his best friend. Do you have a good friend? Then it's so nice to be together, right? But do you know that Jesus is the best friend you ever can have? He even wanted to give his life for us. This friend we can trust, and when we do so, he will never leave us alone. Then Jonathan says to David, "Go in peace, for we have sworn friendship with each other in the name of the Lord." Then David says goodbye, and Jonathan goes back to town.